One of the most important parts of writing your individual written argument and individual research report is finding academic, credible sources. This is the key to writing a good essay because this research will guide your main claims and make you more knowledgeable on the topic. In this video, we will first review the rubrics to show the reason why this is so important. Next, we will review the Raven technique, which will help you to know if sources are credible. Following, I will show you how to navigate the database. Finally, we will look at some examples of the Raven technique and practice. Let's start. Okay, so this is the rubric for the IRR. In row 1 of the rubric, it clearly states, include research that draws on some academic scholarly sources. If you do not do this, it will be hard to gain the full 6 points for this row. In row 5 of the IWA, remember this is the second SAU, right? It is clear that you have to use academic sources. The rubric states, make purposeful use of relevant evidence from a variety of scholarly work. Then it even gives examples of what you could potentially use. You can use peer-reviewed authors, independently verified primary sources, and more. This is 9 points of the rubric, so finding credible sources is crucial to your paper. So this begs the question, how do I find these credible sources to get all of my points? Well, this can be answered using the Raven technique. The Raven technique, according to Don Pogreba, an English teacher who taught AP Seminar, is a tool for evaluating the quality of sources. The purpose of the tool is not to exclude all evidence or dismiss everything because of easy claims about bias, but to evaluate how evidence needs to be presented, evaluated, and considered. Essentially, the Raven technique is helpful when finding effective, credible, and usable sources. Each letter stands for a different thing you should search for in a source. Each letter I will go over came from the Concord High School Learning Commons. To start, R stands for reputation. Some questions you might ask when thinking about the reputation of an author is, what is the reputation of the author, the sources, and the publication? Do past actions or lies indicate the author's sources or publication may not be reliable? Is the author, source, or publication in a position of authority? Next is A. A stands for ability to observe. Some questions you might ask are, is the author in a position that allows access to reliable evidence? And if the article is about an event, did the author actually observe the event? V stands for vested interest. Does the author have a personal stake in the topic or event? Would the author gain anything by lying? Or would the author gain anything by telling the truth? E stands for expertise. Does the author have specialized knowledge on the topic or event? Does the evidence come from a source that has expertise on the topic or event? The last letter is N for neutrality. Is the author neutral or biased about the issue? Is the source of the evidence neutral or biased? Sites like JSTOR and EBSCO are good high-level college databases. There are more, but those are just a few. You can use some lower quality sources like newspapers, but try to primarily stick to college level information. ProQuest offers newspapers, which can be helpful when providing things like a hook for your paper. The last thing I'm going to do is go over an example of the Raven process. So this article is Culture, Diet, and Nutrition Selected Themes and Topics by Lewis Evan G. This is off of the JSTOR website. And Lewis Evan G is a professor of nutrition at the University of California. So this checks off reputation and expertise because he is an expert in his field. A is ability to observe. How is this being written? A primary or secondary source? This is primary source. If it's a secondary source, make sure to check where the information is coming from. V is vested interest, and N is neutrality. These are kind of like, is the author biased or not? No for this case, but beware of emotional terms and extremes when looking at that. And that's it. So just remember the Raven technique will help you find effective, credible, and usable sources for your IWA and IRR. Good luck writing!